an early morning, fire season, smoke in the air. Have to be done by 1 o'clock because of the fire restrictions. And I am driving a water truck, which is mandatory. There is a fence right under this tree. So I think I will have Damien get the lower limbs with the bucket truck while I dial in some gear and do some telephone work. And then we'll switch up to the speed line. 6:48. 2 trucks in place. And debris falling from tree. That's the way I like it. You gotta get stuff hitting the ground soon. It kinda gets the momentum started, primes the pump. These Vermeers are just like so handy for everything. Yeah. I wouldn't give you a picture from hell, however. This video was going to be about how we show up as usual. Close proximities, inch as good as a mile, blah blah, the whole works. Knock the tree down, drive away, everyone's a hero. But since we hit the fence, then I thought we would make a video about that instead, because everyone is familiar, well, every tree man, or most people probably, and especially climbers, are familiar with that morale killing, sinking feeling after you hit something and it's broken or bent and you're stuck in the tree and you have to just like live with this kind of turmoil that you've broke something and you just want to go down there and see if you can fix it, right? It's not a nice feeling. It's like being a little kid and being told you're going to get a spanking when you get home. And so until you go home or until you get to the bottom of the tree and inspect it, you're just kind of in misery. It's not like this is the worst damage in the world or anything, but I think people understand. If you have a sense of pride in your work, and if you have some level of concern for other people's property, you're going to have a black cloud over you when you make a dent. And if you don't have a black cloud, then you're probably not the guy to hire, in my opinion. But the subject of this video is how to kind of move on from that demoralizing feeling. If you get stuck there, then you're probably taking yourself too serious. I mean, we do pretty good. We consistently go home with no damage all the time, and it's amazing. We're like these little delicate creatures surrounded by all these dynamic forces and bombs and bullets flying everywhere, and we go home, kiss the kids, kiss the wife, go to bed, get up, do it again. So yeah, don't take yourself too serious. Especially if you're in a leadership position, you're the boss, you're the foreman, you set the tone for the energy of the group, and the longer you're cussing a blue streak about it or imputing blame to people, then you're just kind of holding the group down, and that doesn't make for happy energy, and happy energy makes for production. So I kind of try to adjust as soon as I can. Accept it, find a new goal. The new goal now is to fix this fence. What I hoped is that I'd be able to fix the fence with things that I had directly around me without having to go to town and buy stuff. Which brings me to point number 2, and that is interacting with the client. Obviously, you have to tell them. This goes back to whether you're the guy for the job or not. If you're the guy who will hide it and drive off, then you're not the guy for the job. However, if you do have that black cloud and you are the type of person who will own up to a mistake and face it, because that's what good people do, then you'll need to talk to them. And I think it's important, if it's within your ability to fix it, it doesn't necessarily mean that they should have you fix it. I don't like to be manipulative or controlling to people, and so I talked to them about the fence in this case, and I'm like, I think we can make this fence perfect with what we have here, but if you want a brand new fence rail from the store or even a fence guy to fix it, then I understand. I don't like to exert force or pressure on people. Most people are reasonable. A lot of people are impressed with what you've done and they'll cut you a little bit of slack. But it's important that if you are going to fix something, that it's going to be fixed, that it's not going to be this signature that every time they look at, they're reminded of you, you know? And you'll see here at the end of the video that we got this nicely fixed. Customer was totally stoked, gave us an extra $100. So in summary, don't take yourself too serious. Confess, fix it if you can, but back off if they want to take over repairs, because after all, it's their property and you were the one who did the damage. For the most part, people are really cool out there. They're decent to you if you're decent to them and you don't get all up in their space and make their decisions for them. Conflicts, adversity, mistakes, these things not going right can actually be a bonding thing between you and the client, because your character is basically on trial. So how you solve the problem, how you interact with them, whether you're fair, honest, things like that, end up being a way for them to really know whether you're a stand-up guy and then refer you to others with a little more energy than they would have if you hadn't had the conflict. This guy was pretty interesting. He even tested me further. When it came time to pay, he hands me a wad of cash and then he tells me, count it and make sure it's right. So I count it, the amount is over what he was supposed to pay, and I said, well, it's over, and he said, that's right, it's over, you deserved it. So he was basically testing me again, it seemed like, to see if I would be this weaselly pirate dude that said, yep, that's the right amount, and just pocket it. So overall, the day going south like that ended up feeling pretty good at the end. There was no reason to get stuck under that black cloud.
Look, I just ate a pancake with my hands. Gotta stir it.
Have to hold the two poles back this way as we pull the rail.
Probably anchor them off of that guardrail there.
Yeah, that's true. Hold this part back to the guardrail so that when we pull this way on the middle, we don't pull the entire fence. We just unbend it. Drop off this skid steer. Would you please go over there and maybe get ready to tighten that some more? One leg is tighter than the other. Oh man, we're gonna have to charge extra for this new fence. I told you, God made man and man made Vermeer. Look at that. Way to go, man. Way to go.
I don't got anything to say right now.
Applause!